Welcome to the Cannon Crew podcast. I'm Granite, and I'm joined by Ryan. How are you, Ryan?
Good. How are you, Granite?
I'm doing well. Patrick, how are you?
Doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Hey, we're doing fantastic because we just picked up a sponsor. It's called Right Here, Right Here, Right Here. That was kind of fun. Cal Jennings, thank you very much for that entertainment. So, what'd you think of that, Ryan? As a keeper, cojones?
I think it was fantastic, and I think it's a great way to get back after your club, an old club that you've given so much for, and they decided not to bring you back because of your age. He's got a lot to prove, and he wants to win championships, and that's why we brought him here to the Battery. We know that's a heated rivalry. We are excited for this game to come up, and especially at the fact that we have another game at home against Tampa later this season, and that game will be in the Jägermeister Cup. So we'll get to face Tampa maybe a couple more times this season. So exciting.
You mean right here, the key, right here in
Hey, could be
Charleston?
more good right here, right here, right here,
So,
right now.
Patrick, what did you think of that silliness, that funness?
That's what makes football amazing. It added one more element to a rivalry that we weren't expecting, but I love it. That's exactly what you want. You want a player talking shit to his old team, a keeper trying to be the best of him on a PK, and he hits it where he tells him to, and he just beats him.
He beats him. I mean, that's the best part. Is it wasn't like he went the other way. It was like, okay, I'll take you on. My cojones are larger than your cojones, and I put it in the back of the net. And
And then,
then
yeah, stand there after, and
and
I don't know
point.
if you see this guy,
That's what
but
he's
just keep
doing.
pointing at it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And
Uh,
then the little scrum that happened after wasn't much of anything because the keeper was smiling. He knew, like, I mean, this is all, it's not fun in games because it's a real game, but it was kind of a little fun getting that little chit chat back and forth and then seeing the video again and again and again adds to it.
yeah, maybe if he didn't make that PK, it might be a little bit different from our side, but he did, and so it doesn't matter. They put us up 1-0. So we're here to talk about Charleston Battery latest victory over Tampa Bay. Was it? And we beat them 2-1. This scoring line doesn't really tell the whole story because I think we played a lot better than Tampa Bay, and we did a pretty good job this time. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, no, I think we did fantastic. And especially working with players coming off the bench, getting them some minutes in early, working with their substitutions. I thought we did great. I thought we came out with a much better lineup. We see a Kaza in there. We still see am I pronouncing it right? Houdini.
No, you're not. But let's go with laundry.
All right. Laundry. Out wide in the
I think it's
back,
Landry.
and
Yeah.
that's Landry's midfielder. So we want to, and we continue to slide and pivot him to where we have three in the back, um, exposing the outside back, and that's the thing we talked about last game. I think that's something that Tampa didn't do well in exposing against us, and we continue to press them the whole time. I love that Matty Myers got back in the game.
Yes, exactly. Patrick, what do you think? Overall thoughts on the match?
I think we came out as a squad that watched some film and we attacked where we needed to attack. We got Tampa Bay to suck into us to wherever the ball was, and we didn't hesitate. We pushed the ball to the open man right away, and we had 5 to 10 yards of space every single time. I thought we exploited that really well, especially Landry. Landry pushed pretty high up, and he was a key part of that. He was open on the wing quite often for um, Allen, Malloy, when Torres would shift over or continue runs elsewhere. It was nice having kind of that makeshift, almost Mark Segbers that we've been missing show up and kind of playing that role. It was also nice seeing Chris Allen get some of that vision cross in, which I'm sure we'll
Mm-hmm.
talk about later. But yeah, I think we did an awesome job. except for one or two hiccups at the back with the keeper. But that's about it.
Yeah, one of the things that maybe y'all didn't see that I saw that was quite emotional. Okay, it wasn't emotional, but at halftime they were throwing T-shirts, and Mark come out, and he's coming out there going to sidelines, and he grabbed one of the T-shirts and he went throw it up in the supporter section, and it went completely over the supporter section, almost hit the beer stand back behind where Jay's the bartender back there, and everyone's oblivious to it, and you could see the look on his face like, oh my, that was a hell of a throw. So if he doesn't have a career left in football, maybe he needs to pick up football. I don't know. Kind of fun. So let's talk about the first half. We'll talk about Landry. One thing I noticed, he likes to get it on his left foot and he likes to cut inside, kind of adding to that middle and sliding over. They should be sliding over to that three in the back, but they don't really do that, and it's left us open a couple times. But I like that he's adding that kind of midfield presence, even though he's coming from the right back. What do you think, Ryan?
Well, he definitely likes to cut in, and he favors that right hand side because he loves switching the play and switching in deep and allowing him to play further back allows him to get more assists this season. So I'm hoping to see that coming forward, and especially this weekend with Pittsburgh coming up. Again, you still didn't see that threatening ball from him going in over the top, and that's something that they want to keep testing with it as the season goes on.
And I don't think I think that's probably because he's as a midfielder, right? So he's not thinking necessarily that ball over the top. And so I think the other thing that hurts him on that too, and I could be totally wrong, is he'll press up and he'll kind of forget that he's a back and he's got to come back. And he's caught us out once or twice where there should have been a goal by Tampa Bay, but there wasn't due to just some, I guess, luck. But as a midfielder, I think he's going to do fantastic when we get him in the rotation.
Yeah, I think he really adds to that attack more so for Torres than anyone else, of leaving kind of that wing roll open for someone to fill the space, and he's going to get a lot of exactly what we saw, dribbles into the box where he gets fouled and creates a penalty for us, or just these situations where he takes the space and he can drive it quickly 5 yards ahead and maybe see a ball to play across. I think it's going to be a really fun thing to watch future this year for us, just because Torres loves to float around a little bit, and we may have an answer of someone to cover for him as long as we get kind of that movement on our back line of like, hey, we're more likely going to play a back three. We just need to be prepared for it. And I think we're slowly starting to morph into that.
Well, I enjoy him coming across the middle. The thing that I think is hurting Torres right now is he doesn't have that other counterweight of Nick Marcanic, and so he's not as free flowing as he was before. Because now it looks like he feels a lot more pressure because it looks like it's almost all on him trying to get that attack. Of course, Cal's got to do his job, and he's doing his job, but I think we need somebody to counterbalance. We need a Nick Marcanic type personality on the other side so they can switch, so they can float back and forth and really add to each other.
And I mean, maybe when Segsbur's is back, this is something where Torres switches back to the left side and maybe starts attacking from there, and Landry's on the right, and we're able to mimic what we did most of last year with that attacking presence, but without it all being focused on Torres, because we have other guys that can create. I don't think Landry is the guy who's just going to dribble, take some spectacular shot, but his ability to just create that 3 yards of space to get a ball across is something very special that a team like us has been missing. We haven't really had that. Even with Nick was more of a possess. I've found a space, not created it, but I've found it, which is a different aspect to these guys. But I think it's something we can look for in the future of the season. And I think it's really going to be cool that we have kind of that threat that we've never seen before.
Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I kind of said it a little bit in the last one, and we're missing, yes, we're missing that counterpart to Torres, but take the focus off Torres. We'll put it back on Cal, as you mentioned. Cal's going to go out and do his own thing. Well, if you found the counterpart to Cal, and that's why you brought Cal in, it's because he's going to partner well with MD. And as you saw in the Tampa game, who got both goals? Cal and MD. MD, beautiful, smart, well timed flick. That's all I'm going to say. Beautiful. That's the partnership we need, though. Like for them two to feed more off of each other going forward, and allowing each other to get underneath of each other, play more 1-2 balls with each other, and then that gives more freedom to Torres and allows Torres to play side to side. So it's gonna come in due time for Torres. He's gonna be like a late season bloomer, if stat wise.
Yeah, I think when they all get comfortable. One of the weaknesses I thought, this is just me, is Klein. Klein's not putting out what he needs to put out.
I'm kind of a little disappointed in that.
And why are you disappointed in that, Ryan?
Because I thought he was going to be a lot better.
Well, do you think he's just getting warmed up? Do you think it's just we need to give him some more time? Because a lot of the play was down the right. It wasn't on the left where he was. Is that right? He was on the left. So maybe we just need more time, more confidence. He needs to get more confidence.
Well, I think that kind of goes in with that, player roles. And, if it was Torres in that position, Torres would have had more freedom to come across, whereas Klein doesn't. So kind of goes in with the youth right here and telling kids like, certain players when they're growing up, this player is going to have more freedom. Whereas you need, when you come on, you need to stay more in your position. And when parents see that, as how we're seeing it right now too, as fans, it's definitely eye-opening when you see more players frustrated at their playing time and where their structure and their limitations are on the field, especially. And,
Patrick, what do you think about Klein?
He's okay. We've also had this discussion before. Like, some players need a little time to adjust. I mean, we talked about it. A lot of these guys were new coming in. It takes something special to still be playing, right? Because it's easy to be like, Arturo, go back in now, and you play. Something's there that we just haven't seen click yet on the field in a game. So something's obviously there that he's getting picked for these matches and starting and going. I don't know. When did he get subbed off? Late? It wasn't 45th minute like he was the first match.
Yeah, it was 60-something, I do believe.
So he's getting more minutes at this rate. He's getting more playing time. He's becoming more comfortable with it. And some players, like you touched on, Ryan, some players need that more. That's their style of play. Maybe as they get a little more comfortable with the team, they start showing who they are on the ball, showing what they can do. I mean, just think of anyone. If you went in new guy in the team, you're not going to go out and be like, ball hog, give me the ball. I want to show you all right now. You're going to try and earn your way in a little bit and kind of show them what you can do, but earn their trust as well. So I think that we're going to see a little more from him. He's not there yet, but it's good to have him and Arturo switch up, because I think Arturo needs that just to make him a better player when he comes back, probably starting the next game, but I think he'll be coming back with a vengeance and wanting to earn his keep.
Now, Pat,
Klein come off 82nd minute, not 60-something,
so
82nd.
I mean, there's a lot of minutes.
Now, Pat, with that in mind, right, we've already played 3-4 games deep now. This is around the time last season where the Battery let go of Gutierrez. We traded him. Do you see one of these players going out potentially? Like, because Goots was a blindside. To me, that was a blindside. I thought Arturo, in my opinion, I mean, I thought Arturo was out.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think anyone's on the chopping block
Like
right
a grand.
now. I think as far as Gutierrez, the way he played really killed our attack in a lot of those matches. Because he liked to slow that ball down and bring it back, where Pierman's like, no, we're forward. Let's go forward. The guys are committed forward. So I think that was a big reason, because remember, Jake stuck around for a while, Lacava, just because he played that style. I don't think he was there. He was getting the minutes. He wasn't really probably putting it in because he knew he wasn't getting the minutes. But, like, I think it really just comes down to style, and I think Klein probably plays the way he wants to. Control a little bit more on that left side, I guess.
I saw in Gut, he was playing, get a lot of minutes, and you can see him starting to taper off, getting less and less minutes. He'd come on, and it'd be limited how long he was on there. He's just a different style of play, and I think you're exactly right. He just slowed down play on that side, and what we're looking for, what Ben's looking for, is some fast movement going up the sides, because, like he says, you widen out, it opens up the middle. As you just mentioned, and we'll talk about a little bit later about the two goals that we scored, because I think that's exactly what happened there. So let's talk quickly. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Let me ask you, since we're on this discussion, would Martinez not be kind of this guy who would challenge on the left side as well? So you almost have a rotation of three guys.
Yeah, I think so. Got the speed. We just need to get the speed over there, and like you said, the confidence to maybe from the other players. Maybe that's what we're missing right yet. Because they're professionals.
I feel like Pierman last season brought these guys in so he can use them in different game situations, and maybe they just weren't getting the minutes and weren't committed to doing it.
Like kind of horses for courses thing, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we have these options for different styles of play. I think this game was, if we need someone to be a little more true on that outside, and honestly maybe give Klein a little more confidence to say, hey, I want to keep picking you.
And maybe a little more freedom too. Let him not just have to go up that outside channel. Maybe let him float around a little bit. They obviously let Landry do that, cutting into the middle on his left foot, because I always like those inverted players, and he did quite a bit of that almost. And like we talked about, kind of slid us back to a back three. I don't necessarily believe that, but that's what it kind of looked like a lot of times. Maybe Klein needs to have that ability to float.
Yeah.
So let's quickly talk about floating El Pupo. 8 minutes in, shot, he bobbles it. So Ryan, how does he bobble? That's right. He's doing everything right. It just come off his hands. I don't know what happened there, because it didn't seem like it was a blinding shot. Any insight?
It takes his eyes off of it. As a keeper, when the ball is coming across from you, as soon as you take your eyes off of the ball for a half second, your eyes can get drawn off the players moving in front of you. You know, you just take your eyes off for a slight second, you bobble it just a little bit, comes in front of you, but, you know, it's unfortunate.
I mean, he covered it, but it was just a really stressful situation for all of us.
And that's why you're taught, though, to just kind of go down on top of it too, right? Yeah. Like front smother.
And I think he's going to do fantastic for us. I think he's got to get some of these hiccups out. And I don't know if it's just stress right now. I don't want to say stress, but just being new to the battery. I don't know. Maybe new to the field.
I think it was the. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna call it and say it was the 5 o'clock. Charleston Sun, playing in it first time. Sunny, South Carolina heat.
I mean, okay. what was up with that? Why did the sudden switch to the 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
I like the 5 o'clock.
I do not.
I don't mind it as long as it
hurts the players.
And why does it hurt the players? Put some hats on.
Definitely hurts the players.
Can he wear a hat?
Only the keepers.
I know. That's the person that's bobbling. It was the keeper. Maybe he needs to wear a hat. Well, I don't trust anybody who wears hats on soccer fields. That's just not right. So let's go on. Let's talk about the PK, right? Landry gets in there. Guy gets in behind him. Was it a PK or not? Now that we had a chance of looking back at it and watch the replays. What do you think, Patrick?
It's PK. Dangerous spot. Takes it in. There's something there. I'll say that. It's a PK. We've seen enough against us. We've seen enough stuff against us
It's
where
just annoying because, like, I've seen it in high school where that's not been called on numerous occasions, and I've seen much less given at the same time.
yeah, it's all discretion, right?
Oh,
I think if you look back at it, the contact that caused the foul, that was the foul, was outside the penalty area. It happened that he happened to land inside the penalty area. I think that's the reason why. But I agree with you, Patrick. I've seen a lot softer and a lot worse not get called and get called against us. So I'll take it. I'll take it. And then that leads up to what we talked about earlier about Cal seeking another one. I think he is first in the league in goals, right?
He is. Is that 5 now? I think that's 5.
I think it's 4.
Is it 4? I thought he was at 4 last time. I thought this moved him up to 5 because he was tied for second.
We
Yeah.
should know these things.
We should.
Let's go with 4.5.
I think he has 5. Pretty sure. We're asking our stat guy to check it. He is not doing a good job.
Hey, Bob, can you check that for us?
He's
What was that, Bob?
texting it right now.
Oh, goals
It is
4, attacking. It seems like the stat guy had it right to begin with. We lost Ryan. Is Ryan going to check on Bob? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did Bob agree with the VAR? Is it 4 goals?
VAR
Ryan went off to VAR agreed it was 4 goals. He's tied with Loudon, and I'm not going to pronounce his last name or his first name. And 2 of them, I think, from PKs, correct?
Yep.
But he's getting goals. So
Mhm.
the PK, you guys want to talk about the PK a whole lot? It's just
Not really.
kind of funny. I just thought it was hilarious. It kind of goes back to my son. We were leaving West Ashley after the football match, and him and the other left back. My son was driving a Jeep, and the other left back drives a Jeep, and they're parked out next to each other. And I said, "Oh, look, all the left backs over here all by themselves in a little Jeeps." And my son points out, and he goes, "Oh, there's the striker over there, and he's in the Corvette on the other side of the parking lot." So it's kind of strikers have that audacity, and I guess in the back's just kind of like, we'll chill out here by ourselves. So it's kind of the same thing. I'd like to see that fire in him, and hopefully we keep seeing it. I don't care how old he is. He keeps scoring goals. Gonna love it.
Yeah, I would say, is this not the confidence you want in a starting striker for your team? Like, I don't want a guy going up there and being like to the goalie, but like, oh, you want me to hit it there? Say nothing, hits it there, and then he's like, oh, right there,
Right there.
points
Yep.
at the spot,
Ryan,
Yeah.
have you ever done that as a keeper? Ryan?
yes.
And how did it turn out for you?
I've done one where the one time I've done it, the kid kicked it, and I was luckily able just to kind of fall back and use my feet, but he kicked it right down the middle. So I kept pointing to the left, and then right when I went to go dive, he kicked it down the middle, and I just kind of kept my feet there and was able to hit off my ankle and go out. But
That's all that matters. You stopped it.
yeah.
He tried to fool you, and you fooled him. So
Yeah, there's some other stuff that keepers like to do, and it's funny hearing from a lot of other keepers. I heard from my keepers today what they like to do, so it's just
yeah.
a lot of different techniques out there.
Well, do share.
Another time.
Or are these state secrets? Should we do this on Signal? We can have a Signal conversation later on. So speaking of Signal and national interest, Aaron Malloy does a great job anticipating a pass, picks it up, and then misses. Almost an empty net.
Yeah, that was.
I think we're going to hurt him even more by talking about it. The dramatic fashion he fell to the ground immediately after that strike.
Yeah, he knew it hurt.
But who was the first guy there? Cal. Cal went and picked him up, said, come on, let's go. You're good.
That's because
You are
strikers
gonna
used to miss
score an
it. They miss
absolute
most of the time.
He's gonna score an absolute banger next week against Pittsburgh.
Yeah. We're going to
It's
see
gonna be a free kick. It's gonna be a free
Worley.
kick goal. Inside 10 minutes, free kick goal. Aaron Malloy.
Let's talk about the doctor. Because the doctor was the big story for me. Besides the theatrics of the PK. But the doctor coming on, I was like, oh, man. He has how many minutes has he had so far this season? It's been very few.
That was his only minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was
this
it?
is it.
Yeah, that was it.
First
That was
appearance.
this was like his debut, and it was on his birthday.
So his first touch, he goes wide. His another one, great step. He cut the two center backs, and he goes wide with it.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do with that, Doctor? Ryan, explain his miss. You're his biggest fan. Explain his miss.
Just came off just came across the toe a little bit. He was going, too much momentum going across. I mean, that's really about it. He's just trying to hit it one time, which I think is the right way to do it because you have so much momentum going. Not a bad time. Not bad for literally and physically your first touch of the entire season.
Yeah, it was his
Recorded.
first touch with it.
Now
Well,
his
the
second
other thing.
touch.
Well,
What were you gonna say?
we'll get there. Because the other thing I want to point out, because last week I was kind of hard on Juan David about his passing, and he received the ball, passed it up to Emilio. Emilio had the sense where to put the ball, and Emilio did a fantastic pass. But without those two, like pre-assist pass and that assist pass, he would never been in the right position. But so back before it even got to the doctor, I think we did a great job of linking both sides of the midline and the midfield to that forward, and that's what we really did. And it come down the middle, not the outside. So I think it's another point.
And it was a great team effort, right? And it allowed us to continue to press them and to continue to put the gas on them, right? So
Yeah.
and that led to MD's second touch.
We're not getting there yet. We're still talking to Patrick.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the goal yet. We're gonna prolong your anxiety. Patrick, you were
Yeah.
gonna say something.
Yeah, I
Anxiety.
gotta be the only person to reel Granite back in on this podcast from praising Juan David for something that only counts in hockey. It was an Ikaza.
What, penalty minutes?
Great attempted assist by Ikaza. No, we don't count the hockey assist in soccer. No one remembers the guy who made the first pass. Doesn't matter. There it is. There's the hat. Either way, I think incredible turn, incredible strength. And I think there was a pretty good nudge on the back while he was hitting that to disrupt him enough. But man, have we missed a player like this up top who is just a little more bruiser, and Cal can run these guys in and make them worried and tired, and then you bring on this guy who has not speed, but he has that wherewithal to get into these positions and body the guy off and create a chance. I mean, this is going to be a deadly combination I don't see them starting as a 2 up top, but whoever's subbing on is going to be the beneficiary in whatever match, because there's going to be these chances where, yeah, it went wide, but it went wide by what, a yard? It was right there.
It's amazing because he doesn't look that fast when you look at him. He's a big guy. And then you see the step he did and the way he split the defenders, and he was out in front of both of them and all kind of by himself, by a couple steps. So, yeah, maybe we should see them both up, starting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because it's not a like for like kind of trade, substitution. So they're two different players and two different styles, even though he did look a little cowlish. Okay, so Ryan, let's get to your favorite part. The doctor finally does his job.
Finally does it. He finally does it.
So-
The most beautiful flick of the year. I mean, that's the way you do it. Just casually, just flick it right off your head. Just casually. Beautiful. Right to the back panel. No one's touching it. And it adds
Anything else?
to, I think that's the Battery's first goal of the season by a header.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Incorrect. Graham Smith got an own goal
Yeah.
off a header.
No,
Oh.
I thought Cal yeah. Yes. Yes. If we're catching own goals. So
Yeah, own goals.
I don't know if you guys are watching, but Juan David passed to. No, I'm just kidding.
Here we go.
It was a crazy flick up, just kind of ball up in the air from Chris Allen. It kind of came back out to him, and he just put it up there, and wasn't like it was a flat trajectory. It had a lot of power and speed behind it, but somehow when it creamed off of MD's head, it hit the right spot.
I mean, this is one you could definitely say Malloy did a fair amount of work grabbing that ball and just, instead of just attacking, saw Chris Allen with like 30 yards of space and being like, what do you want to do? And he goes, MD's over there, I think. I'll just hit it over there. Goal.
Yeah, MD was like on stealth mode because again, there was nobody really around him to challenge him. The two defenders, it's like he was oblivious to the doctor walking in. Maybe that's what it was. He said, we feel safe. He's a doctor. We feel safe with him being here, so we're not going to cover him.
How bad did we need that second goal, though? This is like, all we talk about is like, if the Battery get a goal, you need a second because like we know something's going to come, something strange is going to happen. And finally, we set ourselves up for the first time this year in a good position to be like Rhode
Right.
Island,
Comfortable.
yes, but Rhode Island didn't look that great.
Yeah, but I felt that sense of relief because it's like around 75th to 80th minute, feel this tension of something's weird is gonna happen. Something's gonna happen, and you felt it had reassurance knowing that you're up 2-1, and knowing that the Battery were able to build something out of nothing and able to get that goal. That was a very well team goal, very well deserved team goal, and you know we definitely could get a third.
Yeah, I think at that point it was 2-0, right? Yeah, they didn't get
Yes.
the first goal. So let's talk about, we're talking about all the great things. Let's talk about Defender of the Year last year does a very uncharacteristic stab at a ball, and the player gets around him.
Was it a
That's
deflection
two
off of him,
mistakes.
though?
One mistake back to back weeks.
Yeah, I don't consider the header. I think he was just trying to clear it. It's just bad luck. This one was a mistake.
Goal counted for the other team.
Yeah, but I don't count that as a mistake by him. But this one, he definitely lunged forward, and the player got around him, and then it just seemed like the keeper and Leland weren't communicating because it looked like Leland let up a little bit because he thought El Pubo was going to have the ball, and he didn't.
Now, I'm definitely a Graham Smith ride or die guy. I think he's incredible. And I'll go to bat for him on this one because for most of the season so far, Leland's been a step behind on a lot of stuff, right? So I don't think that confidence is there yet with the pairing like it was last year. How they kind of knew, I have your back, you have mine, we're good. Like, I'm going to step up and try and get this. If not, you're kind of going to cover, and the keeper's going to cover, and you'll clear it out if he makes the save. We're not there yet. I don't know. No offense to Leland, he's just, there's been a few instances where we've seen it where he's just kind of flat-footed or a little off. And yeah, this is a mistake by Graham, but you kind of want a center back to go for the ball. You don't want him to lay off like we saw so much last year of like all our team laying off, and a guy just dribbles and keeps dribbling and dribbles until he just decides to shoot. So I'd at least rather see them attack the ball.
Yeah, maybe Graham wouldn't have, maybe wouldn't have done that, but for him thinking that Leland had his back, and he wasn't necessarily in that position to help support him. And I think the keeper did everything he could. He went down, tried to make himself wide. He just chipped it up over.
Well, the good thing is we didn't give up a second.
Nope.
We held it right there and closed it down.
And then I met some really kind of people that were having a lot of fun during the match, after the match, walking out. One guy was doing a bridge run. his buddy was just having a blast.
Crazy people at the match. Just all types of characters.
All types of characters. It was a good evening. I enjoyed it. I like the 5:30 kickoffs because maybe it's my old age getting back home, at a decent hour, and just get the little sunshine. When it gets a little warmer, I might change my mind. We might need like a 10:30 kickoff when it's like 300 degrees out at Patriots Point. The other cool thing is there's a wind going, right? I think one of the first times down the other end of the field, somebody kicked the ball that basically the wind picked it up and brought it back the other direction. And you can see everybody like chasing around like it was a butterfly for a second. We thought that was kind of fun. Any other thoughts, Ryan?
No, nothing else for me.
Okay, good. Then tell us about your thoughts on next week's match, 7:30 kickoff, unless they change it, of course, against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who are struggling. Your thoughts, Ryan?
No, it should be another good
Patrick.
match. I think it's, it stumbled. I think it's going to be a great match. I think that it's going to be, another tester, but I think we're going to have actual four full defenders in the back. We're going to have a different attack, and I see Battery coming on top 3-2. I think it's going to be a shootout at home.
Yeah, they're ahead of us by 1 point in the table. Not as tough as the schedule as we had to face so far. Definitely not. So yeah, I believe we're gonna win this one. We probably should. We need to. Let's keep this winning streak going into 2 games. And I don't know. I don't have much more to add. I don't think they're a really solid team. I don't think they really did much the offseason to project them up above a Charleston Battery team that should just dominate them.
Yeah, they played Birmingham Legion, and Birmingham just looked so weak. They were just having their way with them. Augie was kind of not really other than being offside every once in a while, and the goals the Legion gave up were just, I'll use the word pedestrian.
Oh, that's right.
Just like they were
Augie's with Pittsburgh now.
Yeah, so
Augie's
hopefully we'll turn out well.
Coming again.
Okay. We talked about the last match. We talked about our next win. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go Cal Jennings and Juan David.
Yeah. Pat?
Oh, you want to go last today? I'll go second.
No, he already
what'd you
did.
say?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd
he
you
said
say?
5-0 to the Pittsburgh.
No, he always gives up a goal.
I said 3-2 Battery.
He said 3-2.
Oh, I'm going to go.
I apologize.
I think Augie scores at home again.
He's no chance. No chance. If there's a game the defenders are going to sync back up, it's going to be against him. So I'm going to go 1-0, but it's going to be a very dominating 1-0 where we have to bite our fingernails for the last 10 minutes.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, we're used to that. Patrick and I are used to that.
Sure.
That's our story of our life. Okay, that's all I've got. If that's all you all have, and we'll see you out there, 7:30 kickoff, Patriots Point. Showing up early, do a little tailgate.
Sounds good to me.
I will be coming from our baby shower, hosting people. I don't know my plan. I'm not in charge of my life.
Well,
my wife
you're
insists,
not.
so
you are forgiven, sir. You're forgiven.
yeah. But I will be in
Don't
the
even
yellow
try.
lot.
Don't even
So
try.
I will be in
Don't
the
even
yellow
try.
lot with a cerveza in hand.
Fantastic. Okay, y'all. Until we
Up
meet
the
again.
battery.
All right.
Up the battery.
Battery.